I am Kit, and this is me 22 weeks on low-dose testosterone and finasteride. This week, my acne hasn't returned much, just a couple spots here and there, which is really nice. My voice does seem to have bumped back up. That is annoying, disturbing. It's frustrating. I really was excited that it had gone back down, so seeing it back up again is I just wish it would stay back down in the androgynous zone, even though it doesn't actually sound that much different when it is. It looks better to me. I'm wondering if this app was the right idea at this point. I'm still going to use it, but I didn't expect it to be bumping around this much, so I got to get used to that. Other changes. My body. I have decided to stop measuring my body. I've been doing that every week for about 6 months or more. And the changes have been progressing at a regular rate. But there's nothing like drastically happening with my T adjustments. There's not like radical hip loss or chest loss. So I've decided to stop doing that for another reason also I'll get to in just a little bit. My face hasn't changed anything. Nobody's commented on it. Muscle mass. I haven't particularly tested my weight bearing capacity, but I have tested endurance. This week I was working all week, and I was doing painting and rolling these 10-foot walls. And, that's supposed to be really tiring, really exhausting. And my body, I was really tired and really exhausted, but I didn't feel it anywhere. I didn't feel it in my arms or my back for 8 hours, for 4 days, 4 out of 5 days, rolling these giant walls. So I'm suspecting that my muscle endurance has increased since starting T, as well as my muscle strength. I was hauling around some 20-pound bucket, not 20-pound, 35 to 60-pound buckets of paint. I don't know exactly how much they weighed, but I could do it without too much problem. They were heavy, but they weren't like strenuous. No facial hair, no body hair, no balding or bottom growth. I was on the forums this week, and some people were like, oh yeah, finasteride has this shedding period. I was like, what? I never lost hair. What are you talking about? So apparently there is a side effect of finasteride that I either didn't notice or didn't go through, where you do lose a little bit of hair before it stops disappearing completely. So that was an interesting fact. My skin isn't any more oily. My body scent hasn't changed. My sex drive hasn't changed. My mood was relatively stable, except for the absolute exhaustion from painting all day. Apparently, painting burns up to 300 calories an hour, and doing it 8 hours a day times 4 days is a lot of calories burned. I don't know if I trust that number, but it did feel like I needed to get some extra energy in my body this week. My social dysphoria. Only time it really came up this week was when I was talking to a new manager at work, and he said I was about to tell her something, and I was just like, okay, but I didn't correct him right away. I'm not exactly sure why. It was the first time, and maybe he'll see my PID next time. I'll probably be correcting him from now on. My body dysphoria has decreased since getting my new wardrobe. I wasn't expecting that kind of side effect, but feeling more comfortable in the clothing I'm wearing makes me feel less aware of the parts of my body I don't like, especially my chest. The clothes I chose are either like this shirt, they're big enough that they hide the bumps, or they're layered so that they just sort of sit here and hide it, and it makes me less aware. And so I can go out in public if I need to go out for something real quick and I don't feel like putting on my binder because I don't wear it every day. I don't have a problem with my own body when I'm just home alone. So I don't just put it on every morning. And I don't wear it at work, of course, but like after work. I don't put it on every morning. I don't put it on every time I go out of the store. But with my new wardrobe, it is feeling like, hey, I feel better. I have a look about me, like this particular outfit I'm wearing. It makes me feel really masculine because it's this really masculine shirt and I'm wearing these cargo shorts, and it's like, it just gives this vibe that makes me feel really confident about myself, and that feels really good. My intermittent fasting, I've still working on it, still doing it, but I've given myself some more leeway than I was, because as I was talking about my body shape earlier, my clothing does sort of make that feel less aware. And now that I just got new clothes that I really fit well in, I'm like, do I want to keep losing weight and then shrink out of these clothes I just bought? How comfortable am I with my body? I don't know how much weight I've lost. I don't know how my health concerns are that happened with the doctor. My triglycerides, I don't know where they're sitting now, but I feel comfortable with myself as I am. And I really just want to fit into my clothes for, a while before I shrink out of them. So I'm trying to give myself more leeway with what I'm eating, how much I'm eating, and when I'm eating it. I don't think there have been any particular other changes this week, nothing to note. So I will upload my 5-month video here in a moment, and I will see you next week.